These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What if upgrading your windows and doors didn't mean tightening your budget? Scratch that. What if it meant spending nothing today? For a limited time, Renewal by Andersen is offering no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 18 months on a minimum of 6. That means beautiful, energy-efficient windows and doors while the payments wait. Visit renewalbyandersenhome.com today and see how easy it is to buy now and pay later.
Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid.
It sure is. Today is surely morbid.
Today is the most morbid day one could have.
Yeah, it hasn't been a great day, but
No.
you know what? This probably won't make it better because I'm sure it's a very sad tale.
It is.
So there's that.
Yep.
But you guys are here, and that's exciting.
Duty calls.
I can feel your presence here,
Ooh.
and you. It makes me happy.
Yay.
You know.
Love and positivity.
And also, Mikey made lemon champagne cupcakes, and they are literally the yummiest thing I have ever put in my face.
They are
So-
really fucking good. You can't have the rest. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't have 'em.
You can't have the recipe.
They're delicious and refreshing, and I'm sorry that you're not eating one right now.
Me too. I want to be eating one right now. I just, it's been a crazy day. I
It
feel
has.
like my head's going to explode a little bit. But
Yeah.
pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces,
You like gross stuff.
Like it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Heads-
Everything's okay. We just have like family stuff going on,
Yeah, we're fine.
but we're okay.
We're fine.
We're going to be just fine.
We're swell. All right. Well, honestly, I have a pretty sad tale to tell you.
Great.
So let's get into it. This is an example of a Tinder murder.
Oh,
So very sad.
those are sad and scary.
They are very scary. They are cautionary tales for sure.
Let's
So-
go.
In early October of 2018, Grace Millane left her home in Wickford, Essex, United Kingdom,
and headed to South America. She had this really big plan. She was going to spend 6 months traveling around the area, and then she was going to head to Auckland, New Zealand.
Ooh,
She wanted to travel the world.
damn.
She just graduated from the University of Lincoln. She got her bachelor's degree in advertising and marketing as well. It was like a month earlier. And this trip was going to be the beginning to her gap year.
Okay.
And she wanted to spend it backpacking across the world. And she was super duper excited just to learn about, all the different cultures and experience them. And basically she was having a little eat, pray, love situation,
Get it.
Now, while she was in Peru, Grace was obviously making it a point to keep in regular contact with her friends and family back home. She would send them daily updates through text. She was posting to social media so everybody could see the cool stuff she was experiencing. Her best friend, Amina Ashcroft, later told reporters, Grace was really loving her travels, and I could feel her positivity. I think Grace was happy in her life because she was achieving her long-term goals and realizing her dreams.
Good for her.
She's like so
I
beautiful.
love that.
And actually, what made this even more special is that Grace's mom had done a similar trip during her own gap year. So it had even more of a special meaning to her because she was retracing her mom's footsteps.
I love that. That's really cool.
Right? So after 6 weeks in Peru, where she'd been traveling with a group of other young tourists and backpackers, she left South America, and this was when she made her way to New Zealand. And she spent a little over a week traveling around the Northland region before moving on to Auckland on November 30th. Now, during the first 10 days of her trip around the Northland, Grace was still sending regular messages to her family, to her friends, still posting pictures of the trip, sharing that with everybody, and just ensuring everybody she was really having the time of her life. Her brother Michael later said she was just sightseeing and traveling around New Zealand. She was in good spirits and was enjoying herself.
Good for her. This sounds great so far, which is really upsetting me.
Yeah,
because I know it's not going to continue that way.
It's not, unfortunately. So on December 1st, 2018, which was the day before her 22nd birthday, which
man,
makes
she's so
this
young,
even worse. And also she's a Sagittarius, which of course she's traveling the world.
Oh yeah, you're always saying that Sagittarius.
We just want to run.
Humans just want to get out of here.
We just want to explore. We just want to go crazy. And that makes sense that she was one of them. So Grace texted her best friend Amina from Auckland to let her know, actually on December 1st, that she was going out on a date with this guy that she had met through Tinder. She said he was the manager of an oil company.
All right.
And Amina thought to herself, she was like, it's kind of weird that you're looking for a date on a dating app on what is essentially a vacation, but whatever.
Yeah.
And
just a stop along the way.
Exactly. And Amina had just gotten off a long flight herself, and she was like, I'm not going to ruin Grace's night by being like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm not going to complicate things. She's just having fun. So as the night went on, Grace would text Amina updates about the date whenever she could. If he headed off to the bathroom or if she did, she was like, it's going great, She told Amina that he was also spending time traveling, and he was currently living in a hotel in Auckland, the guy that she was on a date with. In a few months, she said he actually had plans to travel to London. And in her last text message to Amina, Grace wrote, literally, I click with him so well. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow. But that would be the last text that she sent.
Oh my goodness.
To anyone. Now, the next day, her family and friends, because again, it's her birthday now, are all sending her birthday wishes. Like, happy birthday. Hope you're having the best day. Everyone's texting her. Everybody's DMing her, sending her message alerts on Facebook. But hours and hours and hours are going by and nobody's getting a response from her. So at first, her family was like, okay, she literally just got to New Zealand. Maybe she's getting settled. Maybe she's out celebrating. So at first, they didn't see any cause for concern. But the next day, the day after her birthday, all the birthday messages Grace had gotten were still going unacknowledged, and that was just totally out of character for her. Her brother told reporters, on Monday, it was weird that we hadn't heard from her. So yesterday, we started to make inquiries down the right channels and realized the last time she was seen was on Saturday by one of her roommates in a hostel. So they're starting to fully panic.
I was just looking at pictures of her. She is so beautiful.
Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
Oh, it's it just kills me.
It's so sad.
And I'm just feeling the panic for her loved ones here, especially on her birthday.
Yeah, seriously. She's just about to turn 22.
22.
Has the whole rest of her life ahead of her.
Wild.
So 2 more days went by with absolutely nothing from Grace, and that was when her family really started to lose it.
Yeah.
So they decided to contact the British consulate in Wellington and an official missing persons report was filed now with the Auckland police. So now there was going to be an investigation into this disappearance. And with that, Grace's father hopped on the first plane he could to Auckland so that he could aid the investigation in any way possible.
That's a dad there.
That's a dad. Now, a day later, Auckland Police Detective Scott Beard told the press, since receiving a missing persons report around lunchtime yesterday, police have been piecing together Grace's last known movements, with the last sighting being on Saturday night, using the extensive CCTV footage captured from cameras around the city. So luckily, there's like so much CCTV, I feel like, in other parts of the world.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I know we have it here, but I feel like it's way more
It's everywhere.
seriously. So luckily, they were being able to like put together her night through this footage. And investigators also released an image of her that had been captured from a camera at Auckland's Sky City Entertainment Complex on the night of December 1st, the last night she'd been seen.
Okay.
And that image luckily generated a ton of leads from the public. In one instance, a resident told police that she had seen Grace standing on the side of the Southern Motorway in Manukau, I think is how you say it, which was about 14 miles outside of Auckland. The woman told police, I can honestly say 100% I saw a young girl absolutely so close to her description that it's not funny. And no, there was no way I was going to stop. She was in a very unusual place to stand. I looked at the photo and I was quite adamant I had seen that girl. She had like a raincoat. She had a bigger sort of jacket, not a fashion-like one. What was weird is like, I don't really think that tip led to much, but she was
weird.
super, super adamant that she had seen Grace and described that she had a jacket on.
That's so wild to me because I think about it. I could never tell you if I saw somebody or not.
I don't
I'm
know
so unobservant.
what I wore yesterday.
Yeah.
I have
like
no
I don't
idea.
remember. Like I'm observant in the moment, but like it's not sticking around.
Sometimes I think it just depends on like where I'm at
Yeah.
that day. I think there was something that you changed recently, maybe like in your kitchen or something, and me and Drew were talking about it. Like, and we were like, oh, like, did you change that? And you were like, no, we've had that for a while.
You're like, oh.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, sorry, we're not very observant.
Yeah, I just think about it and I'm like, if somebody put up a picture of somebody and they were like, did you see this person in Boston yesterday? I'd be like, I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
Seriously.
Like,
Because you
who
think
knows?
about how many people you pass
Yeah.
throughout the day that
I'm
you
always
don't know them,
amazed.
so you're not paying that much attention,
Thank goodness some people do.
honestly. But then what sucks is that other people who don't actually pay attention say they do,
Yeah.
and then they give you like a false tip.
Exactly.
But investigators also discovered that all of Grace's belongings were still in her room at the hostel, which indicated to them that she hadn't left the country at least.
Yeah.
Detective Beard told the press, we've spoken to a number of people at the backpackers hostel because she was in a room where there was at least 4 people staying.
Okay.
Now, the sad thing was that none of those people she was staying with had any additional information.
Yeah.
They were like, she went out on a date and that's the last we saw.
Yeah.
But back in Essex, Grace's family was working to aid the investigation themselves. They were able to access her social media, and they saw that still she hadn't read any of the messages that had been sent to her since December 1st, which, again, very out of character for her. And in addition to that, they also found that her itinerary, this is a quote, her itinerary had been changed from her original bookings, and she planned to stay in Auckland until the 8th and had paid for the hostel until the 8th, which she hadn't reported to anybody.
Huh.
So that was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Now, at the time of the press conference, which was 5 days after Grace had gone missing, police were not totally ready to assume foul play. But between the unread social media messages and the abandoned belongings and no contact, there was cause for alarm. They weren't ready to go right to foul play, but they were tiptoeing that line, essentially. Now, a day later, investigators released additional CCTV footage that was captured from a camera at CityLife Hotel in Auckland, and it was recorded about 2 hours after that original footage from Sky City. And in that new footage, Grace is seen with a man getting off an elevator on a higher floor. Investigators reported having spoken to the man, and they said that they, quote, conducted forensic tests at an apartment at the CityLife Hotel. So things were starting to gear up. But still, they said they didn't have any other information that they were willing to share. But the case was not going to go cold, because on the night of December 8th, Auckland police made an arrest. At the time, his name was being suppressed, but they had arrested a man, the one that Grace had just gone out with on the night before her birthday, 26-year-old Jesse Kempson. According
26.
26, and wait until you hear what this fucker had done in his 26 years of life. According to Detective Beard, Kempson had come to their attention because of that CCTV footage and said that, quote, an examination of Kempson's vehicle and of a room at the hotel where Miss Millane was last seen had led officers to conclude that she was dead.
Oh, no.
She'd been murdered. So in his statement...
It's her birthday. Like this,
Yeah.
This kills me.
So in his statement to the press, Beard said, "We still do not know where Grace is, but we are determined to find her and return her to her family."
Oh.
That changed the next day because Grace's body was found.
Oh, no.
She was found in a suitcase
Are you kidding me?
along an access road in the Waitakere Ranges, which is a popular hiking area just like 12 miles outside of Auckland.
Piece of shit
Piece
this guy
of
is.
Fucking garbage. So obviously the discovery of Grace's body was completely devastating for her family.
Yeah.
They were hopeful throughout the investigation that they were going to find Grace alive, and this was literally their worst fucking nightmare. Luckily, their community rallied around them, and the memorials and outpouring of support began literally as soon as the discovery was reported. Actually, the mayor of Wellington at the time, Justin Lester, tweeted about what a terrible nightmare this murder was, and similar sentiments were also shared by the New Zealand Prime Minister at the time, Jacinda Ardern, I think it is. In a public statement, she said that Grace's murder caused, quote, an overwhelming sense of hurt and shame that this has happened in our country. On behalf of New Zealand, I want to apologize to Grace's family. Your daughter should have been safe here, and she wasn't, and I'm sorry for that.
Oh, that's awful.
Also, why we need more women leaders.
Yeah, right?
Just saying, they get it.
They get it.
Like, the fact that she took the time to actually, like, apologize that this happened in a place that she was in
Yeah.
charge of.
And to say, like, she should have been safe here and she wasn't.
And, like,
I'm sorry
that's
for
on
that.
us, and I'm
Damn.
sorry. So investigators, they were able to find Jesse while they were scanning Grace's social media pages for any indication of her whereabouts.
Ooh.
Auckland detective Diana Levinson was scrolling through the comments on Grace's photos. She was on Facebook, and she saw one from Jesse Kempson. The night that Grace disappeared, he left a comment on one of her pictures that said, "Beautiful, very radiant."
Are you shitting me?
Nope.
What the fuck?
The night she disappeared, like, very clearly did that after he did what we will find out he did.
Wow.
So the detective reached out to Kempson and explained they were trying to locate Grace, which is then when they learned that he had met her through Tinder and that the two of them had gone on a date Saturday, and the Saturday that Grace went missing. So he told the police, and this is a quote, "We drank a lot of cocktails at the burger bar and we were having good conversations. But he said the date ended a little after 9:30 and that the two went their separate ways and that he ended up meeting up with a colleague from work." False.
Liar.
Not true.
Liar.
And the thing was, to the detectives, to Beard and Levinson, the fact that Grace mysteriously disappeared less than an hour after supposedly parting ways with this guy,
Yeah, like, shut
they
up.
were like, no way. So
No.
they kept him in mind as a potential suspect. And they continued to chase down other leads, but he was at the forefront of their mind. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or dsw.com today and let us surprise you.
Now, Using CCTV footage, the credit card receipts, and then, of course, the communications like the ones between Grace and her friends, investigators were able to put together a pretty thorough timeline of events on the night she disappeared. On November 30th, she used the Tinder app, and that was when she matched with Jesse Kempson. They chatted pretty briefly, and then they arranged to meet for a date the next day at 5:45 outside of a Christmas display in downtown Auckland.
Oh, God.
Like, just met up in front of a Christmas display. Now, as far as anybody could tell, between 5:45 and when she was last seen at 9:40 p.m., Grace and Jesse seemed to be enjoying each other's company. They drank at the Bluestone Room, which is a bar near the CityLife Hotel where he was living. And Amina told a reporter from Radio New Zealand, "I sensed Grace was having a good time, and she seemed to be pretty drunk and really enjoying herself."
That's so scary.
Like, she just thought that she was having a good date.
Because they were just having a good date.
Yeah.
That's what's so scary about this. Like, this sounds like it was just, you would have no way of knowing.
No, absolutely
You're just having
no
a good
way.
date. You're just texting your friend about your good date.
Yep.
Like, and it's also like, dude, like, it's even scarier because you're like, did he know that she was texting her friend? And it's like, if you knew that she was texting people, like, if you, like, she's connecting with people as this is happening.
Right. And
And
also,
you're still going to do, like, what?
and you would also assume that, like, you're probably one of the last people that she matched
Yeah.
with. Like,
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, damn.
there's so much wrong with him. Now, it was in the course of their investigation that detectives discovered that footage from the CityLife Hotel lobby. And in that footage, Grace can be seen going into the elevator with Jesse Kempson and getting off on the floor where his apartment was.
The pictures are chilling. when you
Chilling
know.
because she has a smile, like,
Oh, yeah, they
plastered on her
look super
face.
happy.
She thinks she's just going back to this guy's apartment that she's really
Yeah.
hit it off with. I mean, I speak for myself. How many fucking times have I done that?
It's a very normal thing to do. Like,
It is. It's just so sad to think that, like, you can't hit it off with somebody anymore and go back to their place.
No, you can't trust
And
anyone.
You literally can't. It's like, how do people date anymore?
I honestly don't know. I wonder that all the time.
It's so true. But the thing was, the footage alone was proof that Kempson had lied to the investigators when he said they parted ways around 9:30. So they went back to question him a second time, and that's when they were given a very different and way more elaborate story than the one that he told them
Of
previously.
course.
Excuse me. According to him, everything he told the detectives about his night with Grace up until 9:30 had been true. But he was like, you know what? I was lying when I said we parted ways after dinner. But now I'm ready to tell you the whole story.
Oh, good. That's real nice
Like,
of you.
gee, thank you for
Thank
wasting
you.
our fucking time. He said they met up a little before 6 on the night of the 1st of December. They went to that Sky City Entertainment Complex, and then they moved on to the Bluestone Room for dinner and drinks. And he said the date was going pretty good. So around 9:40, once they finished up dinner, he invited her back to his apartment and basically said that he implied that they would hook up.
Okay.
And it's here that the story changes from the previous version. When they got back to his room, he said he put on a music channel on the television and he and Grace started kissing. It gets a little graphic here, just if you're listening with people you don't want to hear graphic things with.
Okay.
He said they were kissing and talking, but things escalated. And he told them, this is a quote, "She asked me to turn off the TV. She told me there's a few things she likes doing that she had done with an ex-partner. We started having sex. At first it was normal. It was very placid. And then she started biting and she asked me to bite her, so I did. I stopped at first and said, 'Is this really something you want to do?' And then at that point, he claimed that they stopped having sex and they started discussing bondage. And then he said it was at that point that Grace mentioned the book 50 Shades of Grey and told him that she did have an interest in BDSM. So he said she told him that she had been exploring that kind of sex with a previous boyfriend before they broke up.
Okay.
And then Jesse said after they had that, like, quick conversation about going through with that kind of sexual act, they kept having sex. And he went on to say, "She was holding my arms above my head and just biting, and then she hit my butt. Then she held me around my neck and pushed down. She indicated that it made me harder. We swapped over, I got on top, we started having more, I guess, violent sex. Then we ended up on the floor, and then we kept going. She told me to hold her arms tighter, and then she told me to hold her throat and go harder." So he said the two of them then took nude photographs of each other, which is not true. And when they were done having sex, he said he went to the bathroom And he alleged that he fell asleep in the shower after all that.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
According to him, he woke up still in the shower a few hours later.
A few hours. He took like a full nap.
Sir, you would have drowned.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Woke up in a few hours later, and he said it was still dark, so he crawled back into bed, and he fell asleep again and did not wake up until the next morning. He said to the detectives, "I thought Grace had left. I woke up the next day and saw that she was lying on the floor. I saw that she had blood coming from her nose. I screamed. I yelled out to her. I tried to move her to see if she was awake. I was in shock and I didn't know what to do. I took a whole heap of tablets that I had. I realized she wasn't alive and I just wanted to end it all."
Literally not one part of that makes sense.
None of it makes any sense
Not
whatsoever.
one part of that is believable.
Whatsoever. So clearly he was trying to say, just like if, that this was an accident gone wrong. They had too rough of sex and that she had been killed in the process.
So he is trying to tell us right now that they had this like violent whatever sex.
Mm-hmm.
And that when they were done, he just got up and went into the shower and she was dead.
Yes.
But he didn't realize. He didn't notice that. Yeah. Yeah. That makes so much sense that you would just get up after having sex with someone and not realize that you had killed them in the process. Yeah.
And basically
absolutely.
what we will see is that he is saying it happened while he was choking her. Like she died during that. You would know.
If you killed someone like that, you would know. And also, it takes a long time to manually strangle someone, my guy.
We'll see exactly
how long. And
it
takes a long time with consistent pressure.
She would be showing. You said pretty much what the medical examiner said.
She would be showing a lot of signs of being in heavy, real distress.
She'd be struggling.
And you would be having to sit there with constant, consistent pressure. That doesn't make literally any sense.
No.
And after minutes and minutes of doing that, you don't know that she's dead.
No idea. And then you just crawl back into bed and you don't see her on your, like, even if that had all happened and you had no idea that she was dead, which like that didn't happen and never would, but in an alternate universe where that was possible, then you just walk back into your bedroom and you don't see her where you had just had sex and you just crawl into bed.
It literally nothing. That is the stupidest fucking like story I've ever heard in my life.
And then he said he took the heap of pills and tried to end his own life when he realized what he had done. But then he also claimed that in a panic, he went to the Warehouse, which is a store on Elliott Street in Auckland, and that's where he bought a suitcase. So you said that you just took this whole heap of pills, but then you're saying that you went to a store and purchased a suitcase.
Yeah.
You did that on, like,
100%.
After you took the amount of pills that you were saying you were using to end your own life?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Like,
this
what?
is very, very legit.
What?
Yeah.
He said, I went back, and at first I didn't know what to do. I just put the suitcase on the bed, and I think I left again. Couldn't remember. It was literally a couple days ago.
Love that you went there and got a suitcase with a clear plan, and then was like, I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do
Really,
with
you just bought a suitcase, didn't really have any idea what you were going to do with it?
He said, I just was thinking that me and Grace had such a great night. We were talking about catching up in London. Fuck you.
The fuck up.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere, idiot.
So Detective Ewan Settle.
Oh, I love that name.
I know you do. Ewan Settle interrupted Kempson at one point to ask why, if the death had been accidental, did he not call for an ambulance once he realized she was dead?
Exactly.
And he said he did put the number in his phone, but he didn't follow through with the call.
Oh, so close.
He said, there's a dead person in my room. I thought it looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
It does look pretty fucking terrible.
That is the one thing I can say that you are correct about.
But you know what looks worse? You purchasing a suitcase. Mm-hmm. Because that pretty much implies that that's how you're going to get rid of the dead person in your room. You fucking asshole. So rather than call emergency services or literally any other person on this planet who could help him, Kempson loaded Grace's body into that recently purchased suitcase. He said, I was just in shock the whole time. I couldn't put her in it because it just didn't seem right. It just didn't seem right. So I left, and Grace was half in, half out of the suitcase at that stage. I couldn't do it. It's like, that's worse.
I'm without words for this thing.
Yeah, me too. So according to him, he then left the apartment to buy cleaning supplies, which is true. It was captured again on CCTV.
Wow, once again, We're doing great with the not suspicious thing here.
Yeah, seriously. And then when he returned, he texted a friend to chat. Because he said, I didn't think it was real.
Nope, I think you were just looking to make sure that you had some little paper trails here, there, and everywhere to make sure that you were like, what? I was just talking to my friend. I wouldn't be doing that after I killed someone.
This isn't even the kind of paper trail you want. He was just trying to explain something away because through the course of their investigation, police would learn that the friend he was talking to was actually just another Tinder match that he was planning to take on a date that night.
Wow.
You just murdered a girl you said you really connected with in your room, and you're so upset and distraught, and you took so many pills and you don't want to be here anymore, but you're planning a date for tonight after you dispose of your date's body from last night?
Wow.
Psychopath.
Also, imagine being that girl and finding that out later.
That's really funny because I literally wrote, imagine finding out you were the poor person on that date with him that night.
Jesus
because he did go on a date that
my
night.
God, he did?
Yep. When he returned home from his other date that night.
So this man is still claiming he went on a date that night.
He went on a date that night.
And he is still going to claim later that was an accident,
upset,
and he was devastated
sadness,
by it.
all of it.
Wow. The stupidity.
Grimy, a fucking fake ass ripper.
Wow.
So yeah, when he got home from his date, that was when he managed to get Grace's body into the suitcase. And after cleaning his apartment, he took the suitcase down to the parking lot and loaded it into his car, which is also on CCTV. So you can literally, he's carrying the suitcase out of the hotel lobby.
I saw those pictures.
Fucking haunting.
It's horrifying to look at because you're just looking at that being like, Grace is in that.
Yeah, she never left that hotel.
Yeah.
We see her walk in and we never see her walk out. It's so fucked. So he takes the suitcase down to the parking lot, loads it into the car, which, again, also captured. And the next morning, he drove it out to the Waitakere, I think that's how you say it, Waitakere, Ranges. And he took the suitcase out of the trunk. He said that he went to the brush and started digging. And then he said he took 20, maybe 30 paracetamol tablets because I didn't want to be around if Grace wasn't there. I didn't think I deserved to be around because of what happened.
I love that he's like, I just keep taking pills.
They just don't affect me.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm just taking so many pills.
And also, you know what? You don't deserve to be around.
Oh,
you murdered someone. You fucking asshole. So he dug a hole and then placed the suitcase inside and covered it up and then drove over to a nearby reservoir. And he claims he sat there and waited for the overdose of drugs he'd taken to end his life. But it just didn't.
Just didn't.
So he drove back to the city and went to his apartment. So now he has taken 2 overdoses of pills and neither has taken effect.
And they've done nothing.
Nothing.
He's been able to drive, function, all of that.
It's like, I think you're lying like a liar.
I think you are.
Now, when detectives asked why he decided to change his story and tell this new version, he said, because I want her family to know that it wasn't intentional. But I also want her family to have closure. And the other night when I was questioned by police, I was still shocked. And I apologized for misleading.
Wow.
You put a woman in a suitcase and buried it, and you think that's giving the family closure?
Yeah, closure.
What? And then he still claimed that he had absolutely no intention to kill Grace, but it didn't matter. He had killed her, and now he was officially being arrested on murder charges and taken into custody.
Wow.
So it did not take the investigators long to poke holes in his story and conclude that he was not being completely truthful.
Fuck no.
They were able to theorize that Grace had been murdered sometime between 9:40 p.m. when she's seen getting off that elevator and 1:29 a.m. when he logged into his computer to use the internet. Directly after what had happened.
What?
His first search was for those Waitakere Ranges, followed by a second search 6 minutes later for hottest fire. And also, he spelled hottest wrong.
Wow.
And then he made further searches to find out whether there were flesh-eating birds in the Waitakere Ranges.
That's not real.
No, I mean,
that's real.
He wanted to know if there was flesh-eating birds.
He searched for flesh-eating birds in that range.
Are there flesh-eating birds in the Waitakere Ranges?
I'm without words.
Yeah, he has an explanation for that later, don't worry.
Oh, good. I'm eager to hear that.
Or his lawyers do, which, I was like,
even better.
Wow, that was a reach. But he signed out about 20 minutes later at 1:46 p.m. and then spent 3 minutes taking intimate photographs of Miss Milane's body.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm not. But that is exactly why he said they had taken photos of each other while being intimate. He obviously knew that police were going to find his phone, search it, find these photos, and apparently he didn't realize that the detectives were going to know whether or not she was alive when the photos were taken.
You dumb fuck. You think people can't tell if she's alive or dead, you idiot?
You sick fuck.
Holy
He
shit.
took photos of her.
He's a sick
And tried to
fuck.
say that that was like something they did in the course of their
Disgusting.
BDSM.
Disgusting.
Like, that's not BDSM at all.
wow.
Now, a search of his apartment turned up even more evidence.
Oh.
During their initial search, crime scene technicians found traces of blood, quote, on the foot of the bed, in the footprints walking towards the bathroom, and in small splatters on the fridge.
Oh yeah, and if you they have pictures online of the luminol.
Yep. Lit up
lot.
up like a Christmas tree.
That's a lot.
According to the technicians, quote, somebody had walked in blood with their left foot and transferred blood around the room. And then they believed that the smaller stains were likely spillover from a bucket, like somebody would use to clean a mess.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or dsw.com today and let us surprise you.
Walmart shoppers, meet the debit card designed with you in mind. The Walmart Money Card offers up to $75 cash back on purchases at Walmart each year. Early direct deposit, overdraft protection, and so much more. When Walmart is your everyday store, you need a card to match. That's the Walmart Money Card. Open your account today. The Walmart Money Card is issued by Green Dot Bank, member FDIC. Fees, terms, and conditions apply. Visit walmartmoneycard.com to learn more.
Now, because the body had been left undiscovered for nearly a week, the autopsy technicians couldn't be precise in the measurements and conclusions, but the medical examiner was able to conclude that the cause of death was manual strangulation.
Holy shit.
They estimated that the killer had, quote, applied sustained strength and unrelenting pressure for somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes.
This is why that's like the stupidest fucking story he could have told.
5
to 10 minutes of sustained, strong pressure.
While somebody struggles underneath
and he's
you.
claiming that, like, fuck off.
Like,
you
even right
idiot.
now, I just, thinking about that, I had to take a breath.
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes. There's no way she wasn't struggling.
No.
And they also noted that there were burst blood vessels in Grace's face, and petechial hemorrhaging in her left eye, deep bruising on her upper arms, neck, and left shoulder that is described as being, quote, typical of restraint. This was not sex. No drugs were found in her system, but due to the time that had passed, the medical examiner also couldn't determine her blood alcohol level at the time of her death, which in this case, to me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Now, digging into Kempson's personal life, detectives found a tangled, confusing web of lies, half-truths, and oddities, I guess you could say, that provided very little insight into who Jesse was, what his personal story really was. But this is what we do know.
Okay.
He was born in Wellington, New Zealand in 1992, and he was raised in and around Wainuiaumata and Paururua. I really tried, and I literally put phonetic spelling.
Wow.
He was raised around there. But when he was 9, his parents divorced, and his mother ended up moving away from the family, and she moved overseas.
Okay.
And after that, he had little to no contact with her. And eventually, his father met and married a woman, and they kind of blended families.
Okay.
From what investigators could tell, he had a very poor relationship with his family. According to one former acquaintance, they were all, quote, appalled by his constant dishonesty and thievery.
Makes sense.
Now,
Not shocking.
The tensions between him and his father and his stepmom eventually led to them giving him an ultimatum. And we don't know everything involved here, but basically they told him he could get psychological help or he could get the fuck out of their house.
Wow.
So he chose the latter. And in 2013, he moved to Australia, where he lived until 2016. And in 2016, he then returned to New Zealand. Now, while he was living in Sydney, he was arrested multiple times for disorderly behavior, which was a pattern that continued when he returned to New Zealand because he was arrested in New Zealand for drunk driving.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, his issues seemed to follow him wherever he went.
Yeah.
When he returned to Auckland after leaving Australia, he found a shared apartment situation and told his new roommates that he, quote, was coming over to New Zealand to buy bars to add to the franchise his father owned. That was not the case at all. The roommates' problems with him also began almost immediately. He failed to pay his rent on time constantly. His former roommate said there was always an excuse. He was waiting on money from his accountant in Australia. Eventually, you stop believing the stories. There were so many stories that you start to say, really? It stopped making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then other roommates even found his behavior to be odd or sometimes threatening. One of them, a female, was so freaked out by Jesse that she kept a knife by her bed whenever she was in the house alone with him.
Oh my God.
Another roommate elaborated and said, he came home drunk and broke some furniture and she was scared. When he was drunk, the facade goes just a little bit.
Damn.
So for detectives, the picture of Jesse that was coming through from their investigation was that of a troubled and most likely mentally ill chronic liar who struggled to maintain relationships with anybody.
Damn.
Now, it was his criminal history, though, that convinced them that Grace's death was not an accident. In 2017, his former girlfriend went to the Auckland police and reported that he had violently raped her.
Oh my God.
And repeatedly threatened to kill her over the course of several months.
Oh, so he's an actual full-blown in every every direction you could possibly reach piece of absolute garbage.
Yeah. And actually, about 8 months before he met Grace on Tinder, he made another date on the app with a woman that he ended up sexually assaulting at the end of the night. She told reporters, I was just frozen. I let him do what he needed to do so I could try and go to sleep or go home as soon as possible.
Oh, that's awful. I wish there needs to be like a central place where people can report
Yeah.
this stuff about specific people.
I know. I don't know.
I wonder if
how
I
that
don't know
works.
anything about dating apps because that was like way out of my time of dating. But like,
I wasn't on them long enough to luckily have to report
I feel
anybody.
like there should be like some central place at each site that like
Yeah.
you can report a profile, and they should really regulate it. And if there's even one report against you, you should be kicked off that app.
Because I know you can report profiles, but I don't know how it works like after you've reported them.
Yeah, there needs
like,
to be a very specific, and it needs to be a fucking like put the hammer down kind of thing.
Seriously. It's so fucked.
That's horrifying.
It's so scary. You couldn't pay me money to online date ever again.
Seriously, and
It's
that's
so
sucks.
scary.
It
And
sucks for people who actually are doing it to meet someone.
And think of the people that do. I mean, I know people who have gotten married after meeting on Tinder or Hinge or any
Of course.
of those, like it happens.
Yeah.
But then you have to think that this could also happen.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so scary.
But it makes you further realize that the internet and like social media and stuff is so fucking toxic now. Like
And fake.
the grid needs to just crash. Because even like it's the same thing as like you're like when you meet someone in a bar. You don't know that person.
No.
They're brand new to you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give your number to them, it's essentially the same thing. But something about the internet makes like the more nefarious
I know.
aspects of it become real. And it's like it makes it more. It's so weird.
It is. It really is weird.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I think it just gives you a little more power to
People
put,
can hide.
and to put like an alter ego in somebody's
Yeah,
mind. Like,
exactly.
he could put on his profile that he's interested in da 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 because he saw that Grace was interested in da 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 da.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what it is. It's like they can cater themselves to it's honestly a bad person's kind of
What dream?
haven
Yeah.
there, because it's like they can really cater themselves to be what you want them to be.
Yeah, and a lot of times they do.
It's really bad. Let's just let the grid crash, everybody.
Let the grid absolutely crash.
See you
It might.
later.
There's a sunspot on the sun,
There you go.
which is wild that sunspots can go on the sun.
It's just like, hey,
But it's 4 times the size of Earth, and apparently it
That's
has the
horrifying.
potential to cause a lot of solar flares, which could crash the grid.
yeah, let's just go back to like researching out of books in the library and shit.
Unfortunately, I think everybody would lose their fucking minds if the grid
Oh,
crashed.
yeah, for sure.
So I would
Yeah.
just like hide in a bunker somewhere.
We're too deep now.
Yeah, far too
But
deep.
one can dream.
Yeah, you know. Well, in his first court appearance, Jesse Kempson and his defense team petitioned to have his name suppressed in all the public records and media.
Fuck you.
Which I'm very
No.
confused about why, because he was 26 years old. It's not like he's
Yeah.
a juvenile.
No.
But the request, it actually was initially denied, but that decision was later reversed due to, this is why. I do know why.
I do know why.
Due to the open investigations into the other assaults that he was now accused of committing before Grace was killed. That's
Bye.
why, but I don't
Bye.
really get it.
Bye.
Maybe it's because
No.
it would influence that decision.
Yeah, it's like one of
think that's
those
what it
things
is?
where I think it's they don't want those things being part of the new trial kind of thing.
I mean, they
But
ended
like
up being.
I hate that shit because it's like I'm sorry if you're a terrible person and a rapist. Yeah, we should be able to take that into consideration when looking at how you murdered a woman in a hotel room.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be like, well, just forget all that.
Luckily, the jury was able to find
Yeah.
out. Like, we'll see. But it's so weird, right?
It's very strange. The justice system is weird.
It's very strange. And all of them are so different.
Yeah,
And remember, this is New Zealand.
that's true.
But then this is the thing. So this ruling was only enforceable in New Zealand, like keeping his name out of it, which immediately caused problems in the case because it was being focused on all around the world.
Yeah, of course.
Now, there was also a big leak of Jesse's name because it was through Google. When Google sent out their like news roundup, I don't know if you
okay.
get that, they named him
Oh,
to users across the world.
of course.
And it caused this massive like issue and like tension within the trial.
That's so crazy. I never thought of the fact that like somewhere like New Zealand would even have that be a thing.
Yeah.
That, like an adult, their name could be kept out of it.
Yeah, and I think it's their name
Interesting.
is kept out of it, like we were just saying, because
Yeah.
of the other cases.
It's just interesting.
It is. And the New Zealand legal system was fucking pissed
Yeah.
at Google, like really mad. But then Google said that they never received any kind of suppression order, and it pretty much went nowhere.
Oh, okay.
There was like discussions that were had about how fucked up that is that we
Yeah.
can't name people, but whatever. So Jesse Kempson's trial did start on November 4th, 2019, almost 1 year after Grace's death. And the trial was overseen by Justice Simon Moore, and he put unusually tight restrictions on the local and international media in the courtroom because of that situation with Google. So that's why I had to mention it. The Crown was being represented by Brian Dickey, a Crown solicitor with more than 24 years experience in
Wow.
prosecuting major criminal cases, like at the highest courts.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool when there's multiple courts.
High court.
High courts. Now, Kempson's defense team was led by Ian Brookie, a private solicitor who actually had a history of prosecuting cases on behalf of the Crown. So that was
wow.
interesting. In his opening statement, Dickey told the jury the facts of the case and noted that even though Jesse Kempson claimed Grace had died accidentally, his actions afterwards were not those of somebody experiencing panic.
No.
They were deliberate acts of a murderer trying to cover up a crime scene and just cold, careless acts.
Yeah.
He was like, he did not regret this one bit. He photographed her body. He searched for ways to dispose of her, stuffed her into a suitcase, and then went back on Tinder to find a date that same day.
That's outrageous.
And he argued-
incredible.
Incredible. And he argued that he was eroticizing Grace's death by taking intimate photographs of her body and looking up pornography while she lay dead in his room.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely
He's a fucking
fucked.
monster.
But in their opening statement, the defense, of course, argued the opposite. They said that Grace and Jesse shared dinner, some drinks, went back to his apartment and engaged in consensual sex.
Shut up.
It's like, no. They said it was then that it was Grace's fault.
Of course it was.
She asked Jesse to choke her, which resulted in her accidental death. And they said, as for Kempson looking at porn and searching for random things later, those were, quote unquote, random drunk searches. And they said him searching for the Waitakere Ranges could have just been something as simple as him searching, quote, somewhere the pair had planned to go for a day out.
So wait, let me just get this straight. He's drunk. And how do you spell that?
Ready? Waitakere.
Okay. So we're being very serious when we say that he is drunk
Yeah.
and searching that particular place.
Yeah. And just looking at porn after he already had sex, because that makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
What?
Yeah, and when I've had a few drinks, the first thing that I think of is like, "Ugh, I wonder if there's flesh-eating birds out there."
And that's the other thing. I'm like, oh,
So
yeah.
it's just my curious mind.
He's just making sure that there's no flesh-eating birds that will get them while they're out on their date.
That's literally all I think about when we go on a hike. I'm
Me
like, I
too.
hope there's no flesh-eating birds around because
Like,
they're so common. That
what?
wow.
What?
And it's just a coincidence that you buried her body out there, huh?
Just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. So weird.
Crazy.
I know it looks so bad.
Totally.
But please believe me.
So it was clear that the defense was going to portray the murder as just rough sex gone wrong, that
Yeah,
old
of
defense.
course.
But thankfully, the prosecution was very prepared for that. Their second round of witnesses, they hoped, would show that Jesse Kempson was a sexual sadist with a history of violence against
Yep.
women. In total, the prosecution called 3 women to the stand, and each of them had varying degrees of contact with him, and they all had their identities suppressed for their own safety, thankfully.
Yeah.
The first woman testified that he had contacted her through Tinder and, quote, told her he liked rough sex, domination, and strangulation because it made him feel more superior and in control.
I literally
Things
I
I
can't
can't say
even.
right
Yeah,
now.
I was just gonna say I have so many thoughts right now, but
She
go
said
on.
they went on a date and they did engage in consensual sex, but at some point he became more aggressive during that than she had anticipated. And she told the courtroom, he grabbed my forearms and put all the pressure on my arms so I couldn't breathe and I couldn't move my arms. I started kicking, trying to indicate that I couldn't breathe. I was kicking violently. He would have helped me fight. He would have felt me fighting. I was terrified. And later, when she confronted him about the incident, she said he told her in an accusing and cold tone, "You don't think I did that on purpose, did you?"
Ew, he's so disgusting.
Yeah, did you see him?
Yep.
He looks like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's repulsive.
Now, according to the witness, she did stay in contact with him for months after because she was, quote, concerned that she had given him too much information about her life and that he would stalk her if she cut off contact.
Oh,
so
God.
that's how afraid she was.
Yeah.
Now, on the morning of December 1st, 2018, just hours before he went out with Grace, he was trying to get in contact with this witness to get her to agree to a date.
Oh.
But she declined and said she had other plans, and he kept up with her all day, asking, let's head out, let's head out, let's head out, even in the days after Grace's death. But she repeatedly declined.
He would have killed.
He wanted to kill another
a
woman.
lot of these women.
Not a doubt in my mind
Yeah,
he wanted
not a
to kill
doubt.
another woman. Now, the next witness called for the prosecution claimed that she had also matched with him on Tinder and that they had been exchanging messages for weeks, but she declined his requests for a date because she said, quote, she turned down his offers of a date because of some of his sexual requests, which included strangulation, made her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now, like the last witness, he also contacted this girl on the morning that he went out with Grace.
Jesus.
And then a third woman who he met through Tinder 9 days before Grace had a similar experience in which consensual asphyxiation was introduced by Kempson.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
Walmart shoppers, meet the debit card designed with you in mind. The Walmart Money Card offers up to $75 cash back on purchases at Walmart each year. Early direct deposit, overdraft protection, and so much more. When Walmart is your everyday store, you need a card to match. That's the Walmart Money Card. Open your account today. The Walmart Money Card is issued by Green Dot Bank, member FDIC. Fees, terms, and conditions apply. Visit walmartmoneycard.com to learn more.
So after the prosecution had presented the 3 witnesses, the defense still tried to portray what happened to Grace as an accident. They said that she had a sexual history involving BDSM, and they actually called several witnesses to the stand to testify as to her sexual interests and preferences.
That's fucked up.
Like, how fucked is that? You are brutally murdered by a Tinder date, and then their lawyers go on to make your sexual history public to everybody and making it seem like you asked for this.
Imagine going home and laying your head down on the pillow at night after doing that to a dead girl.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The attorney, Kempson's attorney there, presented the jury with forensic evidence that he collected from Grace's laptop. Basically, she was on a BDSM website talking to people, which she is perfectly allowed to do. She is a consenting adult.
Yeah.
The chats were between her and two separate men, and they occurred between August and September in 2017. The transcripts were read aloud to the courtroom.
She is dead, everybody.
And was killed.
And this has nothing to do with it.
Nothing. All they were trying to do was prove that she had an interest in BDSM.
And it's like, okay, she liked BDSM. Does that mean that she should get murdered for it? Like,
No.
that's not BDSM.
That's not BDSM at all.
Like, I can promise you that.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Ugh.
So one man that she had been talking to was called to testify about his conversation with her, and he told the jury everything. And then a second witness for the defense made similar claims that she was new to this world of BDSM, trying it out, and she did enjoy being choked. That was a preference.
Not to death, everybody.
Exactly. And then in a statement, again read aloud for the court, an unnamed female friend of Grace's, which, like, you did your friend dirty. She said Grace enjoyed her partner putting his hands around her neck. And again, sure, maybe she did enjoy that, but it didn't mean that Jesse Kempson had the right to strangle her for over 5 minutes and then take photos of her dead body, because that is not part of BDSM.
Okay, I'm like, I love that they're trying to be like, well, she liked 50 Shades of Grey, everybody. And
yeah,
it's
a lot
like,
of women
I'm
do.
sorry, what part of 50 Shades of Grey is this? Can
Point
you
me to the
Can
part,
you point me
'cause
to
I never
that?
found
Because
it.
I don't see it.
Ridiculous.
Like, this is fucked up that they're pretending that this is anything to do with her sexual preferences.
And her family is sitting there in that courtroom,
Her
and you're
family-
essentially desecrating her name.
Her family, this is what kills me with this shit, because it's like this girl got fucking murdered after going on a date. And now her family is sitting there, and she gets to have all of her shit laid bare when she's dead. She was murdered.
And she's not here to tell us actually what she liked.
And these
what she
people
didn't
just
like.
get to go up there and talk about her however they want to, and talk about her sex life and say that she liked this. Like, you don't know.
You have no idea.
You don't know these fucking men either. Like, you
No
don't know
idea.
any of them. It's so fucked up. It's like, how you can do that to a girl who has been murdered is beyond me.
Beyond. But they did, and they did it
To
up
try
until...
to do it to get this guy off, too. That's
Who
what's
you
wild
know.
to me. Who you know killed her.
Not only killed her, has assaulted at least 3 other women.
Yes, it's
and
like
how
a-
about all the women that were probably too terrified to come forward?
A violent rapist you're trying to get off on murder that he has admitted to.
He raped his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, and again, they did it all the way to the end. In his closing arguments, Ron Mansfield, who was a member of Kempson's defense team, reinforced their position that Grace, had initiated and encouraged the sexual behavior that resulted in her death. That's what they said.
Wow.
They said-
I have like no words. I have many words, but I'm not going to say them right now.
Beyond. They said everything Kempson did after was out of fear. Mansfield told the jury, people do things when they're stressed, when they're panicked. No matter what he did once he realized she had died, unless he called the authorities, that was not going to look good or stand him in good stead. Because who was going to believe him that the death occurred during a consensual activity?
No one. Just like no one's going to believe it now, you blundering idiot.
And also, like, sure, yeah, you're correct. People do things when they're stressed and panicked. And no matter what he did, other than calling the ambulance, would look bad. Him looking up porn is a lot more than bad.
Mm-hmm.
Him looking up the place where he buried her body is more than bad.
Yeah.
Him then doubling down to see if the birds would eat the flesh off of her bones, horrific.
Yeah.
Those aren't just things people do when they're stressed.
No,
You
when I'm
fucking
stressed,
putz.
I knock things over. I trip.
Yeah. You don't Google weird shit.
I don't kill someone, look at porn,
And then take photos of it.
Take photos of their dead body.
So in his closing arguments, Brian Dickey disagreed with the defense's case entirely. He pointed out the medical examiner's estimation that the strangulation lasted between 5 and 10 minutes and told the jury, this is a quote, "This isn't just a little bit of sex gone wrong, because the person doing that must have known that they were hurting her,
Yes.
causing her harm that might well cause her death, but they were reckless and carried on, and she died. This is not an accident."
No, of course it's not. And they've shown a pattern that he's the one who likes doing that.
Yeah.
She is interested in BDSM, obviously, but it's showing, like, he's making it seem like, oh, she wanted me to do that. I was so wholesome. I had no idea how to do this.
He has
And
a
it's like,
longer history than
you
she
have
did.
a long history of doing this.
And actually, the defense for him only kind of fucked
Proved
themselves
that.
there, proved that because
Yeah.
she was super new to this.
Exactly.
Nice job.
Yep.
Now, the Dickie there, the one that we like, he also noted, more importantly, that the evidence presented at trial didn't even support the defense's claim of an accidental death. He particularly pointed to Jesse's actions right after Grace's death. He said the internet searches and the taking photographs were specifically undermined by the defense.
Yeah.
And said either Miss Millane was dead when they were taken, or he had searched for the Waitakere Ranges where he buried her body while she was still living, thus showing he planned to kill her.
Yeah, it's like, so do you really want to go with that one still?
Exactly.
Because then we're going to have some premeditation here, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So after almost 4 weeks of graphic testimony and very disturbing evidence, the jury retired for deliberation. So before they headed out, Justice Moore reminded them that they were not deliberating whether Kempson was guilty of having caused Grace's death. We all knew that was true.
Yeah.
He said, you're deliberating whether he intentionally caused that death or not. And he said to them, consent only comes into your deliberations if you have rejected murder on either the basis of the murderous intent I have described above. It is not relevant to the murderous intent inquiry. No person under our law may consent to their death or the infliction of the sort of actual bodily injury that could well cause death. And that is the reason why if you find either of the murderous intentions proved, thus proving the murder, the question of consent does not arise.
Okay.
Now, the jury deliberated for just about 5 hours before returning a unanimous guilty verdict.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, you took a second and looked at me, and I was like, if you fucking tell me,
I just like to see where you're at.
I will be very angry.
Unanimous guilty.
Good.
The decision was obviously bittersweet for Grace's parents,
Yeah.
David, and I think it's Jillian, but it could be Gillian Millane. It's with a G. I think it's Jillian.
Yeah.
Who told reporters, the verdict of the murder today will be welcomed by every member of the Millane family and friends of Grace. It will not reduce the pain and suffering we've had to endure over the past year. Grace was taken in the most brutal fashion a year ago, and our lives have been ripped apart. This will be with us for the rest of our lives. Grace was a beautiful, talented, loving daughter. Grace was our sunshine, and she will be missed forever. She did not deserve to be murdered in such a barbaric way or on her gap year. We must return home and try to pick up the pieces of our lives without our beloved Grace. Which I have chills reading that.
Yeah.
In
Breaks my
February
heart.
of 2020, actually, which is
Wow.
crazy, Jesse Kempson was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 17 years before he could ever be considered for parole.
Good.
And in the months that followed, he was also found guilty in 2 sexual assault cases.
Good.
And he got sentenced to 11 years in prison
Bye.
for those to be served once he was done for the murder of Grace.
Good. I like that they did that.
So tacked it right on to
Yep.
the end. Of course, he and his lawyers appealed the sentence, and they argued that there was a, quote, credible narrative of consent, basically saying that he believed Grace consented to the act that resulted in her death.
Shut up.
But the justices rejected the claim on the basis that an individual does not have a right to consent to their death.
No,
We
of course
don't
they
have
don't.
euthanasia around
You
here.
fuck. Get out of here.
And the appeal also alleged that the prosecution didn't present enough evidence or a credible argument that could sufficiently warrant a guilty verdict.
Honey.
But the justices also rejected this claim.
Yeah, they've rejected that outright. Are you kidding me right now?
Exactly.
Like, wow. Okay, Glass House.
No, absolutely ridiculous. They said by their verdict, the jury showed that they were sure that if the applicant did not intend to kill the deceased, he at least intended to inflict bodily injury, which he knew was likely to result in death.
Yeah.
The most that could be taken from Kempson's account is that Miss Millane may have consented to the application of manual pressure to her neck for the purposes of sexual gratification. But there is nothing in what the applicant told the police to suggest she consented to, or he believed she consented to the infliction of bodily injury of a kind likely to kill her.
No, of course not.
No. So on June 29th, 2021, the court rejected that appeal, and they upheld the court's original
Good.
ruling.
Stay there.
Now, outside of the courts, Grace's murder brought up a lot of questions about the safety of female tourists and backpackers in New Zealand, and just the safety and protection of women in the country in general. Now, overall, New Zealand is seen as a very safe and
Yeah, I was gonna
progressive
say.
country. They've actually even had 3 female prime ministers in their
And
history.
in fact, I'm pretty sure that the reason this was probably brought up after this case is because it is such a safe place that they do it the right way, where something like this happens and they go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Like,
we
what are
got
we
to take a
doing
look
here?
at what's happening here.
Well, what's crazy is when it comes to domestic violence and violence against women in New Zealand society, recent reports found that, quote, 35% of New Zealand women had suffered physical or sexual violence in their relationships.
Wow.
And that the country lacked a comprehensive strategy to tackle the problem.
Damn.
So according to an associate professor of criminology at Victoria University in Wellington, a woman named Jan Jordan, New Zealand had, quote, lauded and valued an incredible toughness in men, which in turn had created an insidious culture of violence.
Oof.
And she went on to say, we get lulled into thinking we're actually quite an equal society, but those women who have made it to the top are actually a tiny minority.
Wow.
So after the trial was finished, people were completely appalled by the rough sex gone wrong strategy that the defense used. They called it what it was, ultimate victim blaming.
Yeah.
And according to Fiona McKenzie, founder of We Can't Consent to This, the argument Kempson's defense used meant, quote, he gets to tell her story.
Yep.
He gets to tell the story of what she liked and how she asked for it. Families not only lose their loved one, but these men steal the public perception of them and destroy their reputation.
Yes, exactly.
It's appalling, she
It
said.
is.
So thankfully, once Jesse was convicted, things kind of, like, this case shook things up. And activists in New Zealand started advocating for change and the laws that allow the use of such defenses, because that is a real defense.
Yeah.
And Fiona McKenzie told reporters, with nearly 40% of women under 40 saying they've been violently assaulted in sex, the criminal justice system needs to be ready to respond if these women report, and not just dismiss the violence as something they asked for. Now, as of 2023, the laws have not changed yet, but it's a very much still ongoing debate. And I'm actually going to include a petition calling for the end of the rough sex defense in the show notes.
Good.
So definitely make sure to check that out and sign if you are willing.
Yeah.
I signed it, so you should too.
Do it.
But yes, that will be in the show notes, and then I will see if our girl Avery can also put it on social media.
Yes, absolutely.
But that is the tragic, tragic story of Grace Millane and how the legal system really tried to defile her name, but didn't
Poor
end
Grace.
up working out for them.
Damn. That's an awful story.
Such a sad story.
I hope something good comes out of it. I hope that law gets changed.
I hope that law gets
Yeah.
changed too, like big time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Oh, that was a brutal one.
It really was. But we love you guys, and please stay safe out there if you're using dating apps.
Yeah, be
Just
careful.
Go on double dates.
Yeah, there
Be
you
like,
go.
Oh my gosh, my friend has this really cool boyfriend. I think you'd hit it off.
Let's
Would
go.
you want to do a double date? Because I don't want you to murder me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Or have your friend just like go on a date with her significant other
At the
just
same-
like at the same place as you, just so they can keep an eye,
yes, love that.
follow you.
Yes.
You know?
I love that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's your tip of the week. We hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird, but not so weird that your voice cracks at the end. Bye.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take financial advice from a 72 hours in a single day alpha influencer, would you? Same goes if you're in a car accident or any accident. Who you choose matters. That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. They're the largest injury law firm in America, and they've built a reputation by actually winning cases, not just talking about it. Over 1,000 lawyers across all 50 states and $30 billion recovered. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast.
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.